Well, we've just had the running of the Young Rising Stars, success going the way of Taylor Osmond. It's been a long while since I could clarify my next guest as a rising star, but he's certainly been a very talented performer for many decades, Greg Coney. Well, Greg, there's been a lot of water under the bridge, and I mean a lot of water under the bridge since we last had the chance to speak like this. It's good to catch up with you.
Yeah, Mike, thanks very much.
Geez, you must be a proud dad the way the girls have performed. Gemma and also your stepdaughter, Maddie Young, both have had outstanding careers, because Maddie now deciding to go full-time into the workforce.
Yeah, that's true. Maddie's taken a little bit of a backward step with the harness racing, but back when she was down here around Sydney and even for myself, she had a bit of talent about her and did quite well for herself, and now very proud of what Maddie's done, and now Gemma's sort of taken over from there, and Gemma's going all guns ahead, and now looking back at the moment with her.
Greg, how did you get involved in harness racing? I believe your dad wasn't a harness racing person per se, but got involved in a syndicate.
Yeah, that's true. He was in a syndicate of horses down around the Kiama where we grew up, and just sort of progressed from there. He had horses with Neil Shaw, and it's funny because I used to do a trip with Neil to Tamworth back all those years ago when Neil was quite a good trainer driver up around the area, and now I find myself living up there.
What a great area to grow up in. Kiama, a beautiful spot on the New South Wales south coast, and of course Nowra, also lovely. How did the involvement with Neil come about that you started to get interested in harness racing?
Yeah, I just started to go up on the weekends as a 12 and 13-year-old kid, and just got the bug for it from there. And I was living at Kiama at the time, and ended up training horses on the showground there. It's only a little 400-metre track, and I worked for my father in a petroleum business, and we sort of progressed from there down to Berry, where he brought 20 acres on the Ray Wisby complex at Koala Lodge, and from there we went down to just outside of Nowra at Warragee, and had 100 acres there for quite a while. But as time went by, there was no sort of ran out of racing down there, and doing the trips to out around Young and Wagga and back up to Newcastle, and at times it sort of got too hard. It was either give them up or I was going to end up having an accident on the road. So, but at the same time, in the later stages, Maddie sort of come along, and sort of looked like Gemma was going to follow in the footsteps, so we decided to do the move to Tamworth.
That was also due to the fact that the horses you had under your care at that particular time were going to be better suited on a track such as Tamworth and not competing here. Yeah,
definitely. That had a little bit to do with it as well. We looked at Wagga and Bathurst, but I thought Tamworth, like the little track that is still there, there's still a bit of race tactics there, and it's a good little track to get around, so the horses get around there nice.
As we heard from Gemma in the interview earlier in the week, training at the showgrounds, but now you've got a property where you're developing your own track.
Yeah, we're sort of halfway through setting that up. I'm hoping to possibly be out there before Christmas. It's coming along quite good, and that's gonna, it's going to make a difference to the horses. A better environment, being able to put them out into paddocks, and a lot more room in that than probably what they give us at the showground. So it's going to be exciting times for us. Yeah.
It's also a nice investment into Gemma's career, because no doubt down the track she's going to want to be a trainer as well.
Yeah, she really hasn't spoken about that, but I'm sure at some stage down the track, as you say, yeah, it's quite possible that that'll happen. Yeah.
Greg, apart from being involved with Neil Shaw, there would have been a lot of other people around to influence your career.
Oh yeah, I'm living next door to Ray Wisby there for a few years. Had a lot to do with Ray, and even Brian Hancock. Always looked up to Brian as a real good driver, trainer. Drove a few horses for Brian, not too many over the years. Yeah.
Now, Greg, Charlie Bravo was one of your better horses, and he provided you with a lot of fond memories, particularly at Harold Park.
Yeah, he was a very nice horse, Charlie Bravo. We were lucky enough to win a few races at Harold Park, and one Bathurst Cup and a Canberra Cup. But he was a real nice horse in the day.
You've put together a pretty good team now.
I've got some quite a good little team around me at the moment. Probably lucky because probably able to have a good turnover of horses. Some of the guys from down here, like Ricky and Jared Elchin, and even David Thorne and the Fitzpatricks, they've sent a few over the time since I've been there, which has sort of helped.
A typical morning for the Coney family: rise at 4:30 and do some horses, then you head off to work.
Yeah, true. It's a long day. I only have the numbers because Gemma's willing to put the effort into them. Otherwise, I'd be happy just to cut back and have a few. But wherever she's keen and wants to put the effort in, we're able to do the few more.
I think she's keen, Greg.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's been good to catch up with you, Greg.
Yeah, thanks very much.